This week we had a very strange Tuesday NWSL match between Thorns and Gotham. I think it'd be really easy to point to scheduling or fatigue as reasons for the Gotham loss, but I think these teams just had two very different game plans and one came out on top. So Portland, first thing I want you to pay attention to is they are keeping a lot of players up high. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and watch how they don't really reset and come lower as this ball moves back. They're really keeping the majority of their players up high. They're doing that because they want to get in behind Gotham's back line. Even if that ball is going to be a long ball like this one, it's going to play all the way up to the top of the line. They're still going to try and play forward off that, break into the box, very aggressively looking to move forwards. On defense, the Thorns are using a mid block. They don't really want to press high, so they are totally happy to let Berger take her time here. I think Gotham's distribution plan was focused on going wide. This is one of the very rare times where I saw the ball played centrally. And we're going to see how this doesn't work out for them. Thorns have a very strong midfield. Some of their best, most experienced players are in the midfield, very capable of creating turnovers there. And I just watch Gotham's midfield and how much they're being forced to move compared to how little Portland are moving. There's no urgency here from Gotham, which is fine. I mean, it's 2 minutes, 30 seconds into the game, but we're going to force the ball wide. It's not a great ball. And we just started to see the same issue for Gotham throughout the match. Gotham's defensive setup looks completely different. They've got two players high. They really want to create a lot of pressure, especially probably on this dead ball scenario to restart. But look at the spacing between the first and the second line. There's so much room in there. And what we're going to see in comparison to what Gotham was doing is how much movement Sam Coffey is able to draw out of the Gotham players, and especially considering this line's all the way back here, they probably don't want to be moved that much. So we're going to see Coffey start running. Very hard for Howell not to follow with that speed. Obeys does something very clever here. She understands that she needs to become Sam Coffey now and take advantage of all of that space that's been created. So look at her working in that area, works to go receive the ball just like Sam Coffey would do if she was still there, understands their space where she came from, and Coffey has miles of room here. This is actually kind of ridiculous, but Gotham want to defend up here and want to defend back there. They don't want to defend this area of the pitch. They're not focused on it. So it's going to give Coffey tons and tons of room, tons of time. It's almost silly with nobody stepping up to defend. Gives Fleming time to switch the point of attack. Gotham's defense, very, very compact, which is great at times, but also means you can move through them very quickly. And just like that, Aladu has her first goal. Fantastic one for her. I really think Portland had to run play for the first 5 minutes of this match, but it's football. It's random. Things change quickly, and what changed for me was really just individual excellence from Gabby Portillo here. The back heel is clever, leaving the touchline so that she can curve her run. Incredibly clever. And then this is just great dribbling, great drive, great attack, almost an identical setup and finish. And we're back to tied now. Esther is the new Barbara Abanda. I mean, things are just wild over here. Very, very strange start to the match. With the 2 goals early, I'm out here thinking, great, we're going to have a high energy game. There's going to be tons happening. But for the rest of the first half, this is what was happening. It's a lot of standing and pointing from the Gotham center backs as they try to get people set up. They go through the middle here, nothing happens. Portland creates a turnover. They're very quick to execute. And Gotham were slow. They were slow, and after trying through the middle 1 or 2 times without success, it felt like almost everything was wide, which becomes very predictable and easy for Portland to read. So it's not really, much urgency here. Defensive mid can't do much there, and this has to be one of the worst balls of all time. What a horrible position to put your teammate in when ball's coming down for 10 business days. And it was just too many balls wide. It was too many balls wide for no reason. Portland has such a good, solid structure, and you see how little they are having to move to win that ball. And you know what? This is one of the very rare occasions where they went through the center, and look how much they're able to create because Portland had to move a little bit for that clearance. It was one of the better opportunities they had in the first half, all because they just had 10, 15 seconds going through the middle, but they didn't do it much. They really did not do it much. This one was probably one of my least favorite balls. I love switching the point of the attack. but it was just nothing. Look how little movement this creates. It is utterly pointless. And, timing does not look like an issue right now, 28 minutes in, but it's going to become an issue later in the match. It just felt so lethargic from Gotham in the first half, and they had the majority of possession. It feels like I'm sure I haven't checked the stats, but I would be very surprised if they didn't have the majority of possession. But they did nothing with it, and it's one of those games. So what's the point if you have all this possession and you're just passing back and forth between two center backs and goalkeeper? Coming into the second half, Gotham are going to make one change. They're going to take Brunina out. She was beaten on that one-on-one for the goal. I think that might have had something to do with it, but it's Ella Stevens that comes in, who can't play right back, so we're going to push Neely Martin to right back. It's an interesting choice, but really what the second half was about for me, it was one Miss Kaia Hanks. She just had a coming out party in the second half. I think she got a little bit of confidence from getting involved in that first goal, and I mean, my goodness, she was a menace, like an absolute menace. Just the pace, the way that she has her head up, and she's constantly looking for, who can I help? Who can I work with? She's so unselfish in her play. It's astounding. And every time something was happening for Portland, it was like, oh, it's Hanks again. Okay, that makes sense. This one was great. She wins the foul here. I think Torres actually gets a yellow card off of that. I mean, there was no choice at that point. It was like, gosh, you got to stop this girl because she's just running away with it. The other thing, the chemistry with Aladu was phenomenal. I mean, I love this. Draw all the defenders in and then feed your girl in space. I said unselfish. She's just great teammate. But yeah, she worked so nicely with Aladu. When Turner was out there, she was working really nicely with Turner. I think it's a trio that Portland fans are going to come to really love if they don't already. And then, of course, Hanks, just excellent positioning, plays really well off Sam Coffey, and gets herself a goal here. The excitement is palpable. Just really happy for her, really happy for the team. But you know what? She kept at it. She just kept at it. She was a terror. I don't know, if you're a Gotham defender, you probably went to bed that night just like seeing her in your nightmares, because she was just all over the place. All over the place. I mean, how do you have pace like this 67 minutes in? That's the patience. She's constantly looking. I was so impressed, so phenomenally impressed. And I think it just elevated everybody else around her too, because you start thinking like, wow, I want to get the ball to Hanks. I want to get in on that action. You have nights where you see all the goals go in and everybody's eyes get big and you say, oh, I'm going to go get me one. So Kaia Hanks just brought me energy, and it was awesome to see. We're going out of sequence now, but while this is all happening with Hanks, Gotham makes one change, and it's to start resetting faster here. Look at Berger looking for the fast play, but it doesn't work out, right? Not everybody's ready for it. It's a risky chance. They take it, doesn't work out. I think this is maybe a correction for the first half. You hear coach going, hey, we're playing too slow. There's no urgency. Let's fix that. This is a really easy way to do that. But look, I want to go back to one we just had. Like, what's the point? If Portland are more prepared for this than you are, don't do it. And we're going to see here, all these players are going to tell Castellanos, they're going to tell her, hey, get ready, because they're looking to go fast. And Portland is way more prepared for that than Gotham was. And this one wasn't as bad, but what this does over time is like it creates disconnect, because well, I don't know if she's going to restart fast. I don't know if we're all restarting fast. It just gets messy, it gets sloppy, and you could see it bringing chaos into the game for Gotham. So the last two goals for me are really just about momentum, right? Portland's gaining, Gotham's losing. This is, I think, a bad call. I don't really fully understand what's happening here, but unfortunately it doesn't really matter, because you just energy, momentum, things just tend to move in that manner. Portland gets another goal, themselves in a great position. They're just loving life, and then that brings Gotham, right, even further down. There's more kind of discontent, whatever it is. But I'll tell you what, this last goal had me all over the place. So Midge Purse steps up there, and Carter has to come in for the second one. So I think when Midge Purse comes in, she's coming in at right back and replaces Neely Martin. Kind of makes sense with her as a right winger, but in this specific instance, Carter's going to become the right back, and Purse has to become the center back, just really temporarily. They don't seem to have time, yeah, to fix their positioning. And it's always a lot to ask a forward to play defense. Those kind of moves drive center backs mad, but it does look pretty stylish. But hey, guess what? Thorns midfield just going to keep doing what they've done all night. Kaia Hanks just going to keep doing what she's done all night, get into a good spot. First block is pretty good, but at this point we could see Gotham's back four are having some kind of communication issue. A little bit confusing with Purse back there. Great stop from Carter, but I think she's in Berger's eyes for that second one. And I mean, chaos, just absolute good chaotic energy. Gail's loving it. The supporters section is loving it. And I think something Portland fans are going to find themselves saying over the next couple months.
Why is it when something happens, it is always you three?
Now, there are some viewers of this channel that have been shouting out Kaia Hanks. I think since even the first week of the 2025 season, you knew exactly what you were seeing. It took the rest of us a little bit longer to get there, but I am so glad we got to see the Kaia Hanks show. Really fantastic NWSL matchups this weekend. I hope you have a wonderful time watching them. I appreciate your time checking out this video, and I will see you again soon.